And love, peace, and love. My name is Bubbles, and this is the root chakra and the inner child. I'm super excited to be here with you all tonight to be doing this workshop. This is officially my third workshop doing like this. I'm super excited. Peace, peace, Poems Boston, what's goody? So I'm super excited to be here with you all tonight. So tonight's situation is going to be us really talking about the root chakra, talking about our childhood, and really digging into the roots of our being. In order for us to know where we are going, we must know where we came from. And this really came to my spirit because the readings that have been coming up as of late has super been really very much connected to the root chakra, because there has been a lot of messages around structure being super important right now, building blocks, really like a breaking down of a foundation and something new being built on in place of that thing. And it's super important that we really take our times to really see what has worked for us, what has not worked for us, so that we can move forward and like really grow. And even when it comes to like the definition of root, right? Like I wanted to see like the Webster's dictionary's definition of root, and that is the part of a plant which attaches it to the ground or to a support, typically underground, conveying water and nourishment to the rest of the plant via numerous branches and fibers. So in order for us to really expand ourselves, it is important that we nourish ourselves. It is important that we nourish the root. In today's society, even when it comes to sicknesses, when it comes to like the actual body being sick, and even when it comes to the mental, there is a societal programming that is super based around giving you things that do not dig to the root, but that they hit surface level, right? And with this collective shift that has happening and is continuing to really just break apart and restructure, recalibrate, it's important that we no longer are looking at surface level. If we continuously look at surface level things, then we will move at surface level and we will never get as deep as we want to. Many times we are trying to do things and we're only hitting the surface, and we're trying to figure out, well, why haven't I built this thing yet? Why haven't I been able to grow this the way that I want it to be? And it's because sometimes we just hit in the surface level and we're not actually getting to the core. For example, getting to the core of safety. Do we actually feel safe being in abundance, being in overflow, being in new rooms, knowing who we are and speaking up and showing ourselves and being the stars that we are? Right? Are we actually safe enough to do that? Is our nervous system safe enough to do that? Right? What space are you in when it comes to loving on yourself, and how far are you willing to go? How deep are you willing to go? Are you willing to do the things that are challenging, to do the things that are not so easy but is rewarding? How far are you willing to go? Peace, peace, Khadijah. Like, how far are we willing to go? Please, Naja. So this workshop is super intuitive. Typically in my other workshops, I like write down all of these like prompts, and I will still have prompts, but what I will do tonight is that I will do a collective reading, and depending on what the reading is, I will create some intuitive prompts when it comes to the root chakra with you all tonight, because this was what I was really called to do. Also, if you will be participating in the workshop, if you have just a pen, a paper, like a journal, and if you have some sort of candle. I just so happen to have a red candle, and I swear it's never by accident, okay? Thank you, Ayana. Appreciate it. So I swear it's not by accident. I had this candle for a minute. I actually bought this for an altar that I had created when I was in Mexico, and I never burned it. And it's like, I never burnt it because it was for here tonight. So we're gonna burn a candle at the end. So if you do have a candle and you like to participate in that, definitely. And if you have a pen and paper and want to take some notes and want to do any of these activities with me, you are also like happy to just share in the comments as well. This is an interactive workshop, and that's what I wanted this to be, right? I have my tiger's eye here, all about groundedness and protection. So without further ado, what I like to, I'm gonna actually burn my candle. Not my candle, my incense over here kind of keeps going out, so I'm just gonna burn a little sage. I'm up to the part of the sage at the bottom where it's no longer in the little, you know, the little twisty thing. It's no longer there. I'm at the bottom of it. If you know, you know. So I'm just gonna burn this. So what I'd like to do before we get started is to do this collective reading when it comes to just the root chakra. And the intention here is really to the collective that is coming in tonight. What are the messages that they need to receive in order to create some empowerment? I heard approval. So there's this need for you to approve of yourself in order to move forward, in order to build on a stable foundation. There's this magnetism. Yes, it's a magnetism that you uphold when you are really just in love with yourself, in love with your root, in love with the foundation. And that doesn't mean that things are going to be perfect, but it means that you just reached a certain level of confidence that you approve of whatever it is. I heard like approve of this message. So it's like you approve of wherever you are in your life at that time, of your mistakes, of your ups and downs, of your things that feel misaligned, because you know that really it's all a part of your deeper alignment. It's all a part of the deeper mission, right? So there's this sense of self that we want to get back to, and more than get back to, we want to be able to maintain, right? I shared like that message about like a little over a year ago, and the message was just like, God loves you so much that God is not just going to bless you with these things and just give them to you and you not be able to maintain them. But no, a part of the journey and a part of us losing things and us going through ups and downs and trials and errors is so that we can have the ability to maintain the blessings, not just get the blessings, but to maintain them, right? Because if I'm disciplined for 5 months and then I get the blessings, and then all of a sudden I go to how I was before those 5 months, which wasn't as disciplined, I'm just going to lose the blessings. And that's not how the Most High wants to bless you. That's not how your higher self wants to bless you. Your ancestors want to bless you. That energy, source wants to bless you. Source wants to bless you in a way that you are able to maintain and that you are able to continue to grow. Ashe. So let's do this collective reading. Just gonna clear the smoke. And specifically, I have this chakra deck here today. I'm home now, so I can finally show y'all some of the decks that I'm using. So this is the Prism Oracle Guidebook. So this one, all of the cards are like words and they're all connected with different chakras. So we're gonna see what's the message, what the message be. We're gonna see what the message be, okay? I'm seeing a fireplace and I'm seeing brick. So it's like brick by brick. Spirit is saying brick by brick. Take your time to build the thing. Because, it's like the message of, what is the thing with the 3 little pigs? The 3 little pigs. It's the 3 little pigs, right? It's like, you know how homeboy, the little piggy made the straw house, and then the wolf came through blew that house down. Okay. Then it was what it was, like the wooden house, right? I think it was like made out of sticks, I think, right? I want to say. Yeah, it was like made out of sticks. What the wolf came and did, blew that house down. And then that third piggy, that was probably the youngest one, closer to the root. Because the more you get older, you be getting out of touch. But anyway, the third piggy went and he built a brick house. And what happened? That wolf tried to blow the house down, and the house come down. It didn't come down, right? And the message here is, that's why the message is about brick by brick. Because you see, if you build something fast, it may just not last. It may be like that straw, and when the enemy come and you're not feeling so good, and you still haven't learned how to maintain, and there's still things that's a little shaky, baby, that house gonna blow down and it's gonna be shaky, baby. Okay. And the same thing with, you go to another level and you got like the little wooden sticks or whatever, still it's a little shaky, baby. So it doesn't stay up. But Spirit is saying brick by brick, build that brick house. Oh my gosh, what's that song? It's a brick house. She's mighty, something like that. That old school song. She's a brick house. Yeah, be a brick house. You don't want to be no straw house and be knocking down, because guess what? That straw house and that wooden house couldn't get through the storm. You see, when the storm be coming through, right? When we go through different storms in life, those foundations that's not that strong is not going to be able to overcome. Okay, so that's why that's the message about brick by brick. And I feel like I'm seeing a fireplace, because it's about keeping your fire lit no matter how things is going. And even though it's taking a little time for you to build that brick house, it takes longer than it takes to build the straw house. It takes longer than it takes to build the wooden house. Okay, so it's like, keep your fire lit. So stay motivated is the message. Stay motivated. Keep that passion in. Okay. What else? What is the messages? Yeah, we got isolation here. You see that little dot? Because here's the thing. At times, we could feel super like isolated from friends, from families, from the world view, and all of the type of things, right? But it's like, it's in that isolation that you're able to become whole. You see how that's a little, even though it's a little circle, it's a whole circle. It's not a half a circle. It's not a part of a circle. It's a whole circle. You're able to maintain whole in that, right? Right? Sadness. You're able to reflect. You're able to actually tap in with yourself, right? In order for you to become whole, you have to allow your emotions to flow. Allow whatever challenges and things that are coming up to face them, as opposed to try to push them to the side. I just seen a vision of like trying to put them under something. It's like, okay, it's like if you clean in your room and then you just stuff everything under your bed. You know what I'm saying? I know. I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? But literally, right? You don't want to just stuff things under your bed. You want to really organize it. You want to make sure it's organized, because what's going to happen? It could look nice from the outside, but guess what? Somebody come over and they sit on your bed and they like, it feel like it's something under here. It's not that comfy like. Nah, for real though. Yes, clean that room, girl. Yeah, I'm actually throwing out a lot of stuff. I'm doing this whole revamping right now. So yes. Peace, I love you as well. Thank you so much. I am Rhythm. So legit, peace, mercy. So that's the message, right? Clean up that house, right? And that's and sometimes you just need that isolation so that you can deal with those motions, right? And again, that's that storm, right? That I mentioned earlier. It's that storm, right? What did I say? That pain, right? In order for you to gain, you got to let go of the pain. You got to alchemize it and turning it to something else. It's just like a game. That ass. Yo, can I make it up, Ayana? Like, And y'all, because I said the word of the day is passion, but can I make it up, y'all? With the passion, okay? You got to come through with the passion. I just thought about Brat's passion for fashion. Nah, for real, you got to come through with the passion, right? You have to have the ability to really learn how to alchemize, right? Alchemize through that isolation, through that sadness, through that pain. Tap into that passion, right? And since we're talking about that root chakra, right? It's like getting to the root of it. What's going to help you is to get to the roots of the sadness, right? Get to the root of the pain and turning it around and alchemizing it to turn into your passion. And what is passion but initiation, right? You initiate and go. I'm definitely passionate about my fashions too, girl. You know the vibes. And what I said, you alchemize. And that's your magic. I got the magic stick. I don't know why that's always the magic song that comes to me. Of course, do you believe in magic? But I don't know why the song, I got the magic stick. You know I can hit once, I can hit twice. No, for real though, because I always think about like a magic wand, right? And this also looks like an eye, right? So it's very much connected with the third eye. And it's funny because I'm wearing purple, and I have like all these colors in my shirt, but like I have like that red in there. And purple and red are complementary colors on the color wheel. It's because you have to be super rooted in order to tap into the third eye, in order to listen to that intuition, right? And then if you're too much in the third eye and you're not rooted, then you're just gonna be in the air on the place. So they coexist with one another. So Spirit is saying to tap into the root of things. You got to know where you're coming from so you can know where you're going. There's also this big call for protection at this time. So protecting yourself as far as the energies that you are around. That's why I feel like it started off with that isolation. I'm also really looking at my my shungite here and my black obsidian. So that's why I'm saying that there's this call for protection at this time, because there's these things that are cultivating. Like I feel like there are these things that are building for you in the spirit realm, in order for you to, again, to be able to maintain it. It's about being very sacred with the spaces that you're in, the spaces that you're entertaining, right? Hey mom. Literally being mindful of the spaces it is that you're entertaining. That's the only way that you can really like grow for real, right? Sweetness. And if I didn't call you sweetness, and if I didn't call you niceness, and how about sugar dumpling, then I guess I'll just call you nothing, baby. Shout out to my Caribbeans, if anybody in the Jamaican bap. But literally, right? It's about being sweet to yourself. It's about treating yourself, right? So it's like in you going deep, digging deeper down into yourself. It's not about you being judgmental to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I went through this thing. And it's also that release of the victim mentality. And like I said, it's that energy of being able to alchemize. So no matter the challenges that you have went through as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, a young adult, as the adult that you are now, it's about forgiving yourself and still being sweet to yourself, and also knowing that you deserve to be sweet as well. Like you deserve sweetness done to you as well. Sometimes we could make mistakes that's in our past, and we could be living in the past where we think that we don't deserve good things because we messed up in our past. For example, if you messed up in a relationship in your past, you think that you don't deserve a healthy given relationship because you may have messed up in your relationship in the past. And Spirit is saying that no, it's for a lesson, and it's for you to move forward. And no matter where you are in the spectrum, whether you the person who got the hurt done to you, or you hurt somebody else, or whoever's hurt, like, you know, it's more about it being a lesson and it being a part of the bigger journey. But knowing that no matter what it is that you do, maybe when you were younger you was a liar, or like as an adult or whatever it is, that you was a liar and you just wasn't that nice to people and you just wasn't honest. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve honest friendships, or you don't deserve an honest job or an honest way of living, right? It's more about acknowledging it and again, being able to alchemize it, because guess what? You learned what dishonesty felt like and looked like and manifested as, materialized as in your life, so where you know, okay, that's not what I want to do anymore. And then you start to realize what honesty can do, what living in integrity feels like, and you've seen the difference. And yo, I want to tell y'all, because I shared a similar message the other day about you having to go through certain things so that you can be able to share and you can be able to teach about it. But I was watching The Shy, and literally there's this preacher that, like, when he first comes around, he's like the preacher that works with the drug dealers and all of that. And it's like he's preaching to the people, but he like on the back of the scene, like working with the drug dealers and like holding their money type of stuff, right? And like later on he wants to change, and he's talking to one of them, and they're like, well, how you telling me, like he's talking to the drug dealer dude, and he's like, well, how you telling me like to pray and to do all of this stuff, and you've been over here like doing this thing in sin? And he's like, well, it's the people that have sinned the most that can be able to guide you, right? Like, how you gonna have somebody guiding you about how to get over something and to do this thing if they haven't been through it themselves? How you gonna go have somebody that haven't been through addiction to help you to get over addiction? How you gonna be guided by someone who ain't never been heartbroken and overcame it and to tell you how to do it, right? So that's why I'm super passionate about coming on here, because the messages I'm sharing with you is real life. It's about you literally, it's about me overcoming certain things and being able to share with you. And it's also about me being vulnerable enough to share with you when it is the conversation that, like, oh my gosh, this has been challenging for me too. Let me tell you how I overcame that. Or let me tell you how this is working for me, right? So I'm very big on being a guide here and literally giving you practical tools, not just making it be like, oh, because, you know, everything is peace, love, and light, and if you just meditate 5 times a day, you'll manifest the life of your dreams. No, that's not realistic. Like that a part of meditation is you to be being able to reflect within yourself, and sometimes just realize that, like, a biggest thing about meditation and all of that kind of the okie doke. That's why I be like, yo, don't fall for the okie doke, right? Because you see all of these things on social media and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing it right, or I got to do it like this, I got to do it like this. Let me tell you, one of the biggest lessons that I have learned on my journey, I'm continuously learning as I develop and as I work with other people, right? As I work with clients, as I see friends, as I see family, right? The same thing does not work for one person. I cannot sit if somebody be like, well, how did you get over this? I can tell you how I got over. I can over something. I can give you some different tools. But for me, exactly, like, for example, what I love to do, I love to give you different tools. I'll tell you what I did, but then I'm also going to give you different tools. And when I work with clients, I give them specific customized tools for that person, because I understand and overstand that no one thing is going to work for somebody, right? I can't just be like, oh, well, you know, I just journaled about it, and if you journal about it, you'll do the same thing. We are all different creatures. Like, I wanted to say creatures. Like, we all have different, you know, unique abilities and unique stories, and we should be treated as such. So when I'm here, I'm but being a guide and literally, like, let's talk. Like, this is a conversation. So, all right, let's see what else. Let's see what else come up. Yeah, surrender. Oh my gosh, right? Can I have pulled a better card? Surrender. Because it's all about surrendering to the process, not trying to control. And it goes back to what I was just saying just now. Sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, but like, oh, okay, like, I'll use an example. I remember like getting out of a relationship, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get over this relationship in 6 months, because 6 months kind of sounds like that point, you know, where you're like, yeah, well, like 6 months out of a relationship, like this should be when I get over it. But it made me realize, I'm like, bro, like life is life. We're all different individuals. I cannot expect to put a timeline or date on love, right? When you love somebody, you don't decide. If you love somebody, you don't decide like, okay, you know what, after 6 months, yeah, I'm in love with you now because it's been 6 months. No, you just fall in love. You just raise in love. You are just in love with them, right? You don't put, it's no time limit on it. It's just love. So it's the same thing. And I'm sharing this message because it's the same thing when it comes to some of y'all dreams, some of y'all goals, some of y'all relationships, some of y'all family ships, some of y'all businesses that you're creating, or some of the jobs that you're working on like building in that job. And you're like, oh my gosh, but it's going to take 6 months, or 6.6K on the likes, by the way. Thank you, y'all. So it's so funny I'm talking about 6 right now. And 6 is all about balance, right? 6 is also about pregnancy. When you see the number 6, it's like, it looks like it's pregnant, right? And I mean pregnant with the idea. It means that it hasn't birthed yet, right? So it's still in the womb. It's still in that nourishing, like I was mentioning earlier. What is the root? Is something to be nourished. And as you nourish the root, it expands and then it's able to grow. But if you're not nourishing the root, if you're not nourishing the baby, how is the baby going to grow? The baby may have some problems if you ain't nourishing the baby, right? So the message is about nourishing your babies, as in nourishing your creations, nourishing your goals, the things that you are working on in order for it to grow and be a healthy, happy baby, right? What did I say? We got success, right? In order for it to be a healthy, happy baby, right? And we specifically got that sacral chakra energy, right? What did I just say? That sacral chakra energy, which is that creativity. Let's see what's on the back of the deck. And this has been super strong lately, especially if you in like the States or whatever. Not all of the states, but in New York we had like this like snowstorm or whatever, right? And it's definitely a call to rest. And I just said that, right? Normally people are up and down, they doing the hustle, the bustle, the this, the that, but there is a recalibration that is happening very collectively right now. So it's no accident. It's like, it gives me COVID real talk, when like COVID seemed like this really bad thing. And yes, of course it had its like downfalls, but what also happened during COVID, people were literally able to like go in to their own worlds and like actually remember who they were again, remember what they like to do. I remember during COVID, one of the things besides traveling that I started doing was I started watching anime again. It made me realize that I was working full time and just like in this cycle of just working and doing this. Even though I loved what I was doing, it was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't even have time to do stuff like watch anime, which I love, you know? So that's really the message here of ensuring that through this full process of going back to the root and building new foundations, it's really about you being able to alchemize what you have been through in the past, and to be able to rest in your success, because success is not always going to look the same for everybody. Sometimes we think that success is loud and it's acknowledged and it's just like, it just looks a certain kind of way, but sometimes success is having peace of mind. And some of us have been through so much when it comes to the nervous system that we are uncomfortable in just having a peace of mind and just having nothing to do. Like, oh my gosh, I don't got nothing to worry about. Oh my gosh, because we be addicted to worry for real, and it's okay. But I'm here to tell you that's a nervous system thing. And guess what? Because it's a nervous system thing, that means that it's something that you can work on. Okay. And things that work is funny, because let me tell y'all, before I was watching a video of one of my mentor guides online for years that I've been following, and she just had a video, and literally my YouTube just went to 741 hertz music. I usually don't play music in the back, but 741, and I was like, yo, what is 741 again? I don't remember all of the hertz by heart, but 741 frequency, listen to this. 741 frequency is detoxification, cleansing the body of toxins and negativity, and stimulating self-expression. Could I have picked a better hertz? Like, stop playing with them, okay? Stop playing. When spirit come through, right? So literally, and it's a call to remove something in order for it to grow, right? So let me read what you said. You say, you're so right. This is exactly what happened. I would thank China for that. Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to pull one tarot card, and then I want us to get into some activities. I want to see what is the overall energy and messages. I'm going to read the back of the deck and the card that I pull. I'm going to pull it from like the middle. Stop playing with them. We got the Empress, okay? We got the Empress, because baby, you is the Empress, okay? The Empress card is all about your divinity and you sitting on your throne and knowing who you be for real. It's literally about abundance. It is about abundance. And the Empress, she's super connected to Mother Nature. You see how she's sitting in her garden and she's just like, she's literally wearing flowers because she knows she's royal. She deserves that. It's also about romance. It's about self-love. It's connected to Venus, right? It's about self-love and beauty and free expression and creativity and just that gorgeous, magnetic, feminine energy, right? And what is all around? Literally earth, right? And it's connected to the sacral chakra. So it's that sensuality, that ability to create. It's also connected to pregnancy, which is, what did I say earlier, right? That birthing of new things, new ideas, right? You're birthing a new world for yourself. So baby, take your time. You come in like, oh my God, I should do a pre-recorded message like this. Like, you come in like a pregnant woman, right? Because you in that stage, you know, like with pregnant women, they like, you gotta, you take care of, like, basically if you're pregnant, I've never been pregnant before, but I'm just saying the idea of being pregnant is like, you take care of yourself, you eat really good, you sleep on time, you make sure that you're in like safe environments, you don't be stressing out yourself. And then if you like know a pregnant person, then that's the same way that you know, you treat them really nicely. Like, you know, you like, do you need anything? Like that's how you should be treating yourself. Like, that is how you should be treating yourself, like a pregnant woman. And what we got on the back of the deck, we got Page of Cups, and literally connected to what I was saying this whole time is about you creating, right? You coming from that pure place of creativity and you starting somewhere, you following your intuition and you starting somewhere where that is like, it's no expectations. You just allow this creative essence. Like, think about when you were a child and you didn't create something to be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna create this for, like, let's say you're an artist and like you're like, you know, let's say like as a professional artist, you're usually creating things for like a collection and you want to like shop it around to like galleries and like exhibits and stuff like that. But as a child, as an artist, you just like get up one day and like, I want to make something. I'm going to make this. It's like no expectation behind it. It's like, no, you just create because you just love to create. And I shared this a little bit recently, but it's like that be the message too, is like releasing the expectation of what you create and just trust in what you create and know that it's going to be felt. It's going to be reciprocated. It's going to expand the way that it needs to. Okay. So now I want to go into the writing portion of this, okay? So as mentioned before, you can do your own writing, journaling, reflection either now or later on. Or you can also just talk to me in the comments and we gonna get to talking together. So I feel like with all of this energy, right? And I want to, as I have y'all in here, I want to restate this. The Webster's definition of root is the part of a plant which attaches it to the ground or to support, typically underground, conveying water and nourishment to the rest of the plant via numerous branches and fibers, right? So the root chakra, which is connected down, the first chakra, is literally about foundation. It's about stability. It's about feeling safe, right? Literally, like on my my card here, the root chakra, the affirmation is I have. So here's some affirmations. I have safety. I have abundance. I have space to explore. I have permission to mess up. I have permission to express myself freely. I have a strong rooted foundation for me to build anything of my wildest dreams. I have me. Once you have you, you can move forward. let me read what you said before I continue, because I don't want it to go up. Yes, absolutely. No need to be scared. Again, when I'm mentioning pregnancy, it's a symbolism, right? And it's going to resonate with everyone differently, but it's nothing to be fearful of. That's why every time I mention the number 6 and I connect it to pregnancy, I'm like, it doesn't have to be a physical baby. It can be literally your baby that you are creating, right? Literally. So the first activity, the first prompt I would like is, and oh, let me just mention this last thing. For years, like probably like 4 or 5 years, I've been curating these like workshops called like inner child. It was usually like trauma. It was about trauma healing, right? And something came to me today, and I was like, I mean, even though I am calling it the inner child, and I don't think I've ever, maybe certain times talking about it, I called it trauma just because I wanted people to understand what I was saying. But a big part of us doing inner child work is to ensure that we're not putting an emphasis on just trauma that happened to us, because that's going back in that energy of like, oh my gosh, this thing happened to me, and you know, like I'm mad at my parents because they didn't understand me and because they didn't help me feel safe and this and that. And it's like, it's not about that. Yes, acknowledge when something did not feel good for you, but at the same time, while you had some bad experiences, you also had many good experiences. So with that sacred energy of balance and that being needed, I think that the wording of the inner child is very much more in unison with what this is, because it's about acknowledging it all as opposed to just acknowledging the bad things. Because there have been like some years back, especially like with so many dialogues when it comes to social media and just like the spiritual community and this like collective consciousness and shift that's happening, that has been happening and just continuing to expand and widen, that it could be like, oh my gosh, I gotta heal my childhood trauma, I gotta heal my childhood wounds, I gotta heal this, heal that. One of the biggest things that I've noticed in doing trauma work for both myself and for others is that trauma happens every freaking day. Okay, like that's just real. Like a part of being on earth is trauma, right? And it's like that can be in the smallest ways. It doesn't have to be this big thing that happened to you. It could literally be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna give you an example. It could be like, there was this one time I was like traveling somewhere and something happened where I thought I had all my documents, but they changed something from like, I was going to Africa the second time, and before you needed a certain document, before you didn't need a certain document, and I was trying to look it up and they said that I didn't need it. But when I went all the way to the airport, I had everything ready to go. They told me I needed this document. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I basically had to buy another ticket, postpone my thing. I realized when I was going back to even though I knew I had all my things, when I was going back to the airport, there was like this trauma and energy that I'm just like, I'm nervous to go because I don't want them to tell me again that I can't get on the plane, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this was like a traumatizing thing that now I'm like going to the plane and I'm like a little like nervous about it, right? So that's just an example of how something just like small, or, you know, it ain't feel small at the time for sure. You know what I'm saying? I was upset, but it is what it is. But what I'm saying is that that's how something that's maybe not like life-threatening, right, happens, but it creates a change in how we react to something. And again, it goes back to the nervous system, right? But what can I do? At that time, I breathed and I remember affirming to myself. I said, I got it. I said, I'm going to Africa no matter what, because I'm going to go work with these children. Ain't nothing stopping me from what God is calling me to do, which is work with these children that I worked with before. And now I'm going to work with them again on a whole nother level of all of the things that I learned. And because I knew God called me there, because my foundation was strong in what I was doing and me knowing that I'm going, I have no problems going back. Because even when I had the issue, it was a little, you know, shaky, baby, but I was still like, yo, regardless, I know I'm going because I know that God called me to do this thing, right? So the call is back to self, and the root comes back to your confidence and knowing about why you are here, what you are here to do at different given times, because different parts of our lives call for different parts of the journey, right? So the first prompt, I want it to be, do I feel safe to take risks at this time in my life? Yes or no, or maybe it's sometimes. I want you to journal about why you do feel safe. Oh my gosh, I've been working on my confidence, I've been doing this, but sometimes I get a little off. Or if it's like, no, I don't really feel safe to take risks because I'm not sure if I have, it's also, root chakra is also about finances. So it's like, but like, I don't know if I have enough saved up for that right now. Like I grew up in a household that always just had money tight. So I'm not really sure if I have enough to like secure me, right? Because it's about security, it's about safety, it's about foundation, right? So it's just like I'm not sure if I feel ready to take risk, right? So journal about that. I'm gonna write it down because it's now that I'm thinking about it. But do I feel safe to take risks right now in my life? Why or why not? Okay. And if anyone wants to share, you're totally welcome to. 1B part of this question: when I was a child, did I feel safe to take risks? Why or why not? As a child, did I feel safe to take risks? Why or why not? So I've done this workshop with many different people in different parts and different age groups and backgrounds and lifestyles. And I find that many people as a child, we just had this freedom and we had this energy of where we didn't take things so seriously. So we were super willing to like take risks because we didn't even know what a risk was. Like we were just strong in our foundation and being ourselves, that we didn't have any expectations around like, like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do this thing right, like, no, I can't do this thing. Like children, they'll just get up and go do the thing, they don't question it, right? So it's like the point of these two prompts is to make that correlation, that connection between two parts of your life, of when you were a child and how you are now, to be like, let's just say you don't feel safe now to take a risk, but when you were a child, you do feel safe, right? Just for an easy example, you ask yourself, well, where was that disconnect? When did I stop taking risks? And when did I start questioning the things that I wanted to do? Like, where was that shift? And that's why these are questions that, of course, you can like prompt something quick down now, but I definitely recommend that you take time with this and you go into your own sacred space and reflect on this, because it's going to come up differently for everyone. And I guarantee that there's not just one time that happened, right? It's probably going to be a simulation, like multiple times. It could be this one big thing that happened that you're like, oh my gosh, that's when it started. And then you start to think like, yes, right. And then after that, this is what happened. And then after that, oh my gosh, that's what happened. And then after that, and then, oh my gosh, now I'm here. So it's also that message of, there's a thing when it comes to trauma work, it's called like acute and it's called like severe. I believe there's like another one in the middle, but those are the two that I really remember. because those are the ones that I feel like I focus on. And acute is like those acute traumas, like the thing that I mentioned about, you know, the situation at the airport. That was like an acute trauma, right? It's not something that was like every time I go to the airport, because I done been to the airport so many times after, and I don't have that anymore, right? It was something that came, passed, I saw, I conquered, right? However, it's also those rooted traumas, right? Like those deeper things that may have occurred in your life that have you start to kind of question things in a deeper way. So what that means is that it doesn't mean that it's unhealable, if that's a word. What it means is that it just takes a little bit extra love, you know, just some extra love. Put some love on that bit, right? Like just a little extra love on it. That's all, right? Even when it comes to reprogramming the nervous system, because again, as we're talking about the root chakra, I can say that every chakra has some sort of connection to the nervous system. However, I think that when it comes to the root, that's probably one of the closer connections, or I want to say one of the stronger connections to the nervous system, because the root chakra is all about stability and foundation, right? And it's like, if you're nervous, you don't feel safe. If you're overstimulated, you don't feel like you can just sit, because root chakra is also earth. What does earth do? It's able to sit. I actually want to read y'all something. You're able to sit. It takes me a minute to get it though. You're able to be still. You're able to be like a rock, right? And what I want to read for y'all right now is something that I actually use for my astrology readings. So I do these astrology readings for people where I help them to come in balance with mind, body, spirit. And I use a big part of their, of the elements that's in their chart. And I created this like comprehensive roadmap when it comes to the different elements: earth, fire, air, water. I didn't add ether because ether is spirit and it's very much connected to air. So I left that out, but I wanted to really dig into the core of the elements. And I'm just going to read a little bit to y'all, because if you'd like to tap in with these readings, then I got you. But I just want to give y'all this brief synopsis of earth. So I put earth represents groundedness, stillness, strength, consistency, structure, responsibility, business, physical body, foundation, building, focus, and logic. That's why I said it's super comprehensive. So I'm just gonna give y'all a brief. Earth has the superpower of accomplishing any goal it sets its mind to. Think about how the huge rocks at a beach will not shift or move, no matter how hard the water current hits it. It is dedicated to stay in one place, no matter what outside influences try to budge it. So that's another prompt. How grounded are you when you have an idea? I want to say it a different way. How unshakable, okay, are you when you have an idea and you have outside influences? How grounded are you? And here's an activity that you could take, a practical activity. What meditation has helped me with, one of the big things that meditation has helped me with is the nervous system and to quiet the mind. Because let me tell you something, it came to me before in the meditation that of course when you go do your meditation, you want to like one time I was like at a park, and I remember I was like, yeah, like, you know, I want to, I'm like going to find a quiet space to like meditate. And specifically, that day, it's like, it was a lot of people in the park. But then the message came to me was like, there was like these children, and I have a big connection with children, which hence the inner child workshop, right? So anyway, Spirit was like, okay, it's, of course, you know, it's ideal, it's amazing to meditate when you have no distractions around you. But how about the times when you're not able to control your environment? Will you still be able to meditate then? And I was like, all right, you know what? Because at first I was about to walk away from those children. I was like, they loud as hell. They playing in the park. Like, you know, they yelling, you know, children or whatever. And then Spirit was like, no, sit down right here. Sit your ass down right here. And I was like, okay, fine. And I sat and I meditated. And it was super empowering for me because I was like, yes, of course I can meditate when, you know, nothing's going on. And it's great. And it's amazing. But how grounded, I feel like it was a great training grounds for like, okay, but can you still stay grounded and focused? And can you, for my empaths, everyone's really an empath, but for my stronger, sensitive empaths, like who have a very strong empathy and the ability to feel others, a sensitive being, right? Tapped in, however you want to say that. It's a superpower to be able to tap in with others' emotions, but there's no excuse of you not being able to ground your own self, ground your own nervous system, and be in your own protected bubble no matter what's going on. So while those children were like jumping up and down on the swings and monkey bars and what have you, I was able to ground and be focused within my mind, my body, my spirit, because they are outside of me, I am inside of me. So I was able to still be here. All I see is Naruto. Come on, don't get me started with Naruto. That's my favorite anime in the whole wide world. Yes, Naruto Sage Mode. Yes, exactly, about meditation on the go. Shout out to you, Sevens, because if you got Naruto, we already here with it. But that's a perfect example. But it's that ability to quiet the mind. Anytime that you find yourself in meditation, and I know it can be super challenging when it comes to like a bunch of thoughts, a good way for you to remain in your body is for you to focus on your breath. So instead of focusing on what's happening outside of you, focus on your breath. If your mind goes a little bit, don't judge it, don't attach to it. Instead, focus back on your breath, right? So that's a beautiful, practical way that you can just tap into your groundedness and your stability. Another way is by dancing bare feet, okay? In the dirt, in the grass. It's like, think about your feet having these like solar antenna strips that connect with the charge of the earth. And like, for real though, like they are connecting, right? It's this connectivity that's happening. It's this electricity, magnetism that's happening as you're able to ground in the dirt. And what did I mention in my writing here? It's also the physical body. So as you have the physical body interacting with Mother Nature, with the dirt, with the earth, which underground is the roots, you are being as that root, right? I would say another fun activity, grounding and dancing feet in the I was about to say in the sea, in the dirt. And also imagining yourself like roots, like I love dancing to djembe drums also because that's a very grounded thing, but it can be whatever you like. But my dog is like banging on my door. Yo, chill out, son. Oh my gosh, he's being a bully to my door. But like literally, right? While you're dancing, like using power of visualization, because power of visualization is also super conducive to like meditations and just you being in that trance like state. So using that ability to that visualization energy, and like imagine you are the roots coming from the ground, and you're just and you're just like a tree, and you're just like the vines, and you're just like so divine, and you're just like the flowers, and you're just like the branches, right? So imagining yourself like as a tree, imagining yourself as roots, imagining yourself like you got flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like you also using the power of visualization to do the natural thing in the mother nature, and to, you know, to connect in that way is super helpful and powerful. So those are just two practical things that you can do. Of course there's more, but I'm gonna leave you with those two. And if you do try any of them, please send me a DM and let me know how it went for you. Okay. I want to read this part for you too, because we're talking about balance. So an overuse of earth energy can result in being too fixed and rigid in ways of not allowing for change or flow, not asking for help, working without rest. Rest is that big root chakra energy, okay? Sit your ass down and go to sleep. Just shut up. For real though, right? So as we're talking about that root chakra and that earth energy, it's important to have your stability and your groundedness in what you are, who you are, how you show up, and your ability to be still, your ability to coexist, your ability to feel safe and to feel nurtured, and to just know that you are it. You are the shit, and the shit is you. But it's also that superpower to not get super fixated in one way of doing things. I wrote not asking for help because sometimes a person could be super rigid in the way that they like things done, that they don't allow for curiosity is the word that I just channeled. Like, so it's like curiosity will allow you flexibility and flow. And that's a natural state of Mother Nature as well. So I'm gonna give you an example that just came to me. We've been talking about the trees. So imagine like a fruit growing, right? We know that during like spring, summertime is like when fruits for the most part like grow, right? However, let's say, I don't know why kiwi came to me. I don't really know about growing kiwi, but that's the fruit that I heard. And I also seen papaya. I do know about papaya trees. So yeah, let's use the papaya tree just because I actually know about planting and the papaya trees. So a papaya tree, for example, right? You when it's ready at different times. But let's just say the papaya tree is supposed to hold on the thing. Let's just say the papaya tree. Oh, this is 432. We on some heart frequency now. Let's just say the papaya tree is supposed to be ready in July. Okay. But okay, the papaya tree is ready in July and is green in June and ready in July, but the papaya tree don't have like a certain date. The papaya tree don't like tell you the year before when you doing it, like, yo, Deja, just know that I'm gonna be ready July 17th. You know what I'm saying? Like mark the date on the calendar. I'll be ready July 17th. No, papaya flows. And also depending on the nourishment that you're giving to the roots, to the tree as it's growing, is going to impact the papaya trees or the papaya fruits that you grow, right? And even though they're due for July, that doesn't mean that they're all going to be ready on July 17th. The reason why I'm using this example is because the message of like flow, right? So it's okay to like have a timeline of like, okay, I want to get this done around this date, whatever. But the message here is about also allowing adaptability. Let's say you wanted something done by the end of July, but the way things have been going, like you just energetically haven't been into it. It's okay to get it done the second week of August or the end of August. Like, don't be so rigid and strict on yourself where you're like, but I told myself, start shaking yourself. I told you that I need it done at this time. So that's the message. The message is that just like Mother Nature, be flexible. Yes, you have a steady root, a steady ground of like, okay, this is the season that I grow. This is the season that this fruit comes out or whatever it is. But have the flexibility to be like, even if it comes out a month later or 2 weeks later or 2 weeks earlier, whatever, it's okay. Be like nature in flow, right? And the self-love ceremony, let's do that together, because I feel like I've been in a flow. This has been good. Since we're talking about the root chakra, and number 4 is connected to the root. Give me a 444 if these messages have been resonating, and please share anything else. I'd love to talk to you. You know, I love talking to a camera screen, but you know, if there is anything you want to share, please let me know. But definitely type a 444 about how this has been resonating. And let me take a sip of my tea, because we're just chatting. I'm so happy it resonated with you. Also, since you know, I'm a teaaholic, I'm an herbalist. Let's say that the herb of the day for this reading, for this message, I'm gonna give y'all burdock root. My spirit is telling me to give y'all burdock root. So you could do your own research with burdock root, but that's an herb that you can use. That'll be your blood purifier, liver purifier, really full body purifier for real, but it's super grounded. 2 other simple ones that are very common is like your ginger, your cinnamon, right? Your ginger, your cinnamon. Okay, let's continue. Self-love ceremony. So if you have your candle, okay, we're gonna do a root chakra self-love ceremony. Type in the chat, help me help you. No, help us. Let's do it together. I want to do it with you. Okay. Type in the chat an affirmation for the root chakra that you want to affirm in this candle lighting. If you don't have a candle right now, you can do it later. And if you want, you can also just do it with me here. I'm going to charge up this energy with all those who share the affirmations. Even if you don't share the affirmation, just the fact that you are physically, energetically here, your energy is still felt, I promise. But I would love you to work with me. I want it to be interactive, okay? A part of the root chakra is speaking up. Not for real though. Like, you know, like physical body, using the physical body to project this. So I'm gonna make an affirmation. ¿Dónde estás mi? ¿Dónde estás? My drum is right here. Oh, I like that, Ayana. I have space to explore. You know what? I'm gonna do something special for y'all. See, this is what I want. This is why I want y'all to give me some things. I'm gonna do something special. I'm not even gonna tell you what I'm gonna do yet. I am gonna grab my drum though. Alright. Okay, I have space to explore. I'm grounded. Give me 1 second. Okay. Any other affirmations? Anybody? I love that. I trust my body. Baby! Hey! I trust my body. Any others? I love that. Okay. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I love y'all so much. So let me tell y'all what I just did. Let me tell y'all what I just did. Okay, first, hold on. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn the candle. And with this candle being burnt, we're going to do like a meditation song kind of vibe. So I am burning this candle with these affirmations, with this energy of everyone here. I give thanks that everyone is here. I want to be the reminder to you that you are safe to be yourself. You are safe. You are guided. You are protected. And you are felt through the screen. You are felt. Give thanks, Ramses. You are felt energetically. I feel you. And I want you to know that you have permission to be yourself. You always have and you always will. So guess what I just did, y'all? I just made a song for us with all of the affirmations that we got. I just made a song for us. So I have space to explore. I am grounded with my feet on the floor. I trust my body. I am safe. I love myself. I move with grace. I have room to love myself. I am one with myself. With myself, yep, with myself, with myself, with myself. I have space to explore. I am grounded with my feet on the floor. I trust my body. I am safe. I love myself. I move with grace. I have room to love myself. I have one with myself. I am one with myself. Yep, I am one with myself. I am one with myself. I love myself. Yeah, I love myself. Give yourself some love. Give yourself some love. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself some love. Do. Give yourself some love. Give yourself a hug. Hey, give yourself some love. Give yourself a love. Hey, give yourself some love. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. I could really do this all night, so I'm gonna leave it there. But want to remind you how precious and how special you are. I just want to remind you that you have something very unique to bring to the table. I know that things have not always been easy, but I want to guarantee you that it is worth it. It is worth the journey. It is worth your strength. It is worth your trust. It is worth all of the things that you are here to build and to share with the world. I want to remind you that your body is beautiful. I want to remind you that your body is beautiful. I want to remind you and affirm that your body is sacred. I want to affirm that your body is enough, that your body is protected, that your body is guarded, that your body is special. I want to remind you and affirm for you that you are everything. And you being a part of everything, and that everything that you be means that you can do everything, baby. You are powerful. You have the strength to ignite. You have the strength of a star. You will go super far. Let your mind expand. Trust yourself. Be still when it's time to be still. Move when it's time to move. Come back to yourself and remember who you are. Come back to yourself and remember that you're a star. Come back to yourself and remember that you are God. That you are a part of the very fabric of creation that God has built, scripted, manifested, materialized, painted, drawn, sang, danced. You are a very part of that same fabric. May you remember your ability to create, your ability to ground, your permission to cry, your permission to feel all the feels, not just the feels that feel good. May you remember that even in the twists and the turns, the times of feeling down, that they were lessons so that they can no longer keep you bound. May you remember that you are profound. May you remember that you are no longer lost, you are found. May you remember your truth. May you speak your truth and know that it is meant to be heard. It is meant to be felt. It is meant to be secured. Remember that you are secured. Remember to care for yourself. Remember to nurture yourself. Remember to embody your body and be that body, because you somebody. And don't compare to yourself to any other bodies, because we could all exist as somebody. We can all coexist. May you remember that you are meant to expand. You were never meant to stay in the same place of comfort. May you remember that through all those uncomfortable times. May you remember it's because you're building a world of comfort. May you remember how abundant you are. May you remember that you're a star. May you remember who you are. May you remember your divinity. May you remember your Holy Trinity. May you remember your sensuality. May you remember your individuality. May you remember. May you remember. May you remember you. May you remember you. May you remember your light. May you shine so very bright. May you remember your insight. May you remember that you don't have to fight against yourself. May you cure your root through all that you have endured. May you remember that you are a part of the floor. May you remember that you were here to be bored. May you remember that you were made for something very special. may you remember that you are a child of the world, of the earth. May you remember that it is time for a rebirth. May you remember. May you move forward and continue on your path. No matter where you are in your journey, whether you feel like you took a turn and kind of got a little lost and have to ask for directions, remember that we can all learn from one another. Remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. Remember that you're not alone, and there's always someone that can understand you, coexist, and really be around those who support you. And remember that you are even supported by an invisible force. Remember that everything you need is at your grasp. You have the ability to not just hang on, but to be firm and grounded. May you remember that your truth is not going to resonate with everyone, and it's not supposed to. Because you see, the more truthful that you are to yourself, the more it shakes things up for others, and that's okay. But don't let anyone shake you out of your spot, out of what you're here to do, even if it doesn't make sense to people around you, because your purpose and your individual mission is not meant to be understood. And guess what? To those who understand will understand, and what's understood doesn't have to be explained. And those are the people that you share with. Those are the people that you hold dearly. Those are the people you continue to surround yourself with. And may you remember that at every single moment, you have the ability to change. You have the ability to make a new decision for you to move forward. Yeah. May you just remember that you was meant for success, baby. So do your best, baby. Okay? Yeah. So I give thanks. Type a 444. Actually, type a 144. We did 444 before. Type a 144. 144 if this resonated with you. And if you will be in the next workshop. I've decided that I'm going to continue to offer these workshops for donation-based, free access, because I know that it's gonna get to who it needs to get to through my through the TikTok. I will also be starting memberships on YouTube. So that'll be like these workshops, but they'll be a bit more in depth, and I'll be able to actually talk to individuals and provide like individual feedback. So that's at a later date. Also, help me to get to my 500 subscribers on YouTube. My YouTube channel is the same name, Bubbly Divinations, as my TikTok. I'm already at like 337, so I just need like 100 something to go to get to the 500. Personal readings are available in my my bio. It's like a set more. It says set more, and it's like a scheduling app, and you can choose which reading you want. My other services include actually positive affirmation songwriting like we did tonight, but I'll help you create an affirmation song for yourself. I'm also doing the self-love cleanse for March 3rd, which is a 7-day cleanse where it's plant-based. We do 3 days 50% raw, 50% cooked plant-based. Then we do 4 days raw, and I have like a PDF that's available that has recipes, it has remedies, tips, and tricks, and it has teas as well, and it has art therapy and prompts, like kind of similar to what we did tonight. Yes, can you send me a DM and I'll send it to you? Sage, I got you. And so the self-love cleanse, definitely join us. If you want to join the self-love cleanse, that's something that you just send me a DM, and there's 2 tiers available. This is actually a self-love cleanse 2.0 because I've been doing a self-love cleanse for over a year, but I just changed it recently. Tier number 1 is $25, and it comes with the PDF that I mentioned, and it comes with the WhatsApp support group where we all just cleanse together and we share, you know, what's going on, what's coming up for us emotionally. The second one is $50, and that comes with everything I mentioned, including a pre-recorded workshop similar to this, but it's going to be specifically around self-love and cleansing and nutrition. I'm very passionate about nutrition. If you're interested in art therapy, talk therapy, life coaching, that's also something that I do, and that's, again, similar a bit to what we did tonight, but again, of course, very much customized to you. You can add nutrition plans, that kind of thing. I'm really into that. So it's really about helping you get on pace with your mind, body, spirit, come into balance. Again, the readings are there. I have readings when it comes to tarot. I also have bundles where we can do tarot and we can do astrology, and I can help you to really tap into what you're actually here to do in this lifetime, connected to trauma that has happened in your past. And I work with clients also on a one-to-one basis on consistently. Other than that, so if this was our 3rd workshop, so I thank everyone for being here. So this is, the first workshop was the inner child, no, excuse me, the first workshop was quantum. The second workshop was the feminine, was about the sacral chakra and the inner child. This was the root chakra and the inner child because I wanted to go back. But now, because we did the root and we did the sacral, we're gonna go up. So now the next workshop is going to be the solar plexus. This is gonna be a deep one. We're gonna do the solar plexus and the inner child, or the inner child and the solar plexus. Yoni cleanses. I actually have a recipe for yoni cleanses. If you're not in New York, let me know where you at in the world, and I could possibly even get a package together for you. And I also have another service where I can just like give you the instructions and stuff. I do make customized blends for any type of ailments, whether acute or more severe. I've been doing this for over like 5 years now, and I'm very passionate about it. I've been able to heal myself in many different ways holistically. Specifically yoni cleanses, I have something for that. I actually have a tea concoction that I created that can be used for yoni steams, and it can also be drank internally, and it's one of my top ones, y'all. When I tell you how spirit came through for that, even before I started my tea brand, like I started my I've been selling like tea and herbs for like over like about 4 years, because I was working, like I was mentioning Africa, because I worked on like a farm in Africa and I connected with the brother and I was selling his herbs here. But I've been doing herbalism before that. But just like most recently, like a year ago, I was like, I gotta start selling my own herbs, because I mean, this is like what I do, you know? So I started to connect more of that. I'm also coming out with like another recipe book, but so far I have the 2 recipe books that I mentioned, the one that has for the self-love cleanse 2.0, and then the one with the self-love cleanse, and that one is just all raw food. So if you ever wanted to do a raw cleanse, even if you don't want to do it with us, you can just get the book, which is like $20, and it's like an ebook, and I'll just send it over to you. It's amazing. My recipes be on point, y'all. I'm telling you, you don't gotta compromise the taste, okay? Like, right, you know what I'm saying? We here with it. And I got a lot of Jamaican stuff in there too, because, you know, my dad's side Jamaican. But other than that, I think I mentioned everything. Definitely send me a DM. Yes, I love that Reiki and you read tarot. I love that. Definitely. And also, if anybody's in New York, I recently got certified in massage therapy in Mexico. Yes, I did. So if you are in New York, you could also feel these hands on the real, feel these hands. But if not, then I will share my art with y'all and y'all can still feel these hands. Other than that, I bubbly love y'all so much. I thank you so much for your presence. I give thanks that y'all are all here. It really is super special to my heart. If you feel so called to send a donation, my information is right here above. And I also just want to mention that you being here and showing up for yourself is always an amazing start to just investing in yourself, because time is something that you'll never get back, and that's why you gotta be intentional with it, you know? So I'm so grateful that y'all was here. I had so much fun. So definitely stay tuned for, in March, we're gonna do the solar plexus and the inner child. And this is also, if you maybe caught it later on, if you want to rewatch, the rewatch of this workshop will be available on my YouTube channel at Bubbly Divinations as well. And other than that, if you have any questions or you want to have a conversation or something like that, hit me up, send me a DM. Naja, I'm also going to get back to you. I kind of clocked out the other night, but I'm gonna get back to your message. But I bubbly love y'all so much. And also, lastly, I do tarot here on my YouTube, on TikTok. I get live. Oh my gosh, my words, I'm done now, y'all. I'm tapped out. Sundays, Monday, what am I talking about? Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I come live and I do collective readings. And if you want like an individual mini reading, then I also do that on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I just didn't do it yesterday because I was tapped out yesterday, and I knew I would put like a lot of energy into tonight. So, but normally on 10:30 p.m. EST, I try to turn it to like 8 p.m. y'all, but I was like, nah, like I like my 10:30 p.m. So I'm gonna be on between 10 and 10:30 p.m. EST, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I also come on here with Lunara, my good sis, when she's available. Other than that, I bubbly love y'all so much. My phone is on 5%, but remember, just like that 5, you was meant to make a change, okay? So continue to be yourself, continue to do you, and I love you, boo. Shout out to 111. I got 11.1K and it's 11:01 on its timer. 111. Let's go. I love y'all so much. Mucho besos para mi hermanas hermosas. How you say brother again? Hermanos and todo and all of that. So